Back, round 2. This one is a little bit more. We're doing a little bit of touchy subjects here, so bear with me. Keep the vibes up, spirits high, energy high.
I got you.
All right. Am I the asshole for ghosting my girlfriend's daughter after my girlfriend cheated on me?
Oh,
Messy.
Sticky.
Messy. So, okay, let me start here. I, 26 male, was in a relationship with my girlfriend, 26 female, for 6 years. I was engaged to her and our marriage was scheduled for a few months' time. My girlfriend had a daughter at a really young age. Her ex left the state immediately after he heard she got pregnant. So when I started dating my girlfriend, her daughter was already 2 years old. Over the past 6 months, I have pretty much considered her my own daughter and treated her as such. I had plans to legally become her stepfather after marriage. I love my daughter so much. However, after a couple of months ago, my girlfriend confessed that she'd been having an affair after I saw her text from her coworker.
When did that happen?
So this happened like
that caught me off guard.
It came quick, right? It came real quick.
Okay.
So after a couple of months, his girlfriend, he says, confessed to having an affair after he saw her text messages to her coworker. The texts were so outrageous that she couldn't lie about the affair. She said she had been having an affair for a few months. I obviously canceled the engagement and the wedding and moved out a week later. My girlfriend's daughter was a bit confused and it hurt me, but I really did not want to be around my girlfriend anymore. I have now completely cut off contact with both my girlfriend and her daughter. My girlfriend still does text me frequently asking me to reconsider at least maintaining a relationship with her daughter temporarily because her daughter has constantly been asking where's dad and even crying a bit. This does hurt me a lot and I really wanted to maintain a relationship with my girlfriend's daughter. But the issue is, if I do go over to that house, I will have to see my girlfriend's face, and I just can't stand to see her face anymore. I am trying to leave it all behind and already start going on new dates, but this is bothering me. Am I the asshole?
I don't think we're going to agree on this one.
Break it down for me, brother. What we're here for.
I think he is the asshole.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
And the reason is not because of what you think. I think it's one, you started this relationship when you were 20, right? Because they were together for 6 years. So at the time, you both were 20 and he had a kid.
2 years old.
We're doing 18. The math now.
Yeah.
Hey.
8. So the kid,
breakdown.
The kid was 8 at the time of the
Whoa, breakdown.
So you know.
Break it down.
So my thing is, and the reason why it's a very hard decision to make is when you get in a relationship with a person with a child, you're basically having 2 relationships because now you're with her and now you're forming another relationship with a child, right? And it's sticky because now you have to maintain both of those. And the hard thing is, yes, when you do break up with a significant other, it's between you two. But there's another component in the picture that you need to consider, especially somebody at the time of when you decided, yes, I'm willing to go in a relationship with this person that you thought was a commitment that you're willing to make, you know? And for you to backtrack this commitment because of a situation that happened with you and your partner and not take into consideration the kid, I think it's difficult, you know? So I do think he's an asshole, not for leaving, but for the way that he did and not explaining. He's 8 years old. I don't know if you can break it down to an 8-year-old kid why, but I think you have the responsibility to let this child know that because they are all you know. Clearly, this is the father figure, and for you to walk away, it just looks like you're abandoning the child. You know, it doesn't matter like. When you have a kid, your responsibility is not to mess that kid up. I know he's not the real father, but he stepped up for the role, you know?
He's not the stepfather. He's the father that stepped up.
Exactly. So you have a responsibility to make sure this kid is not messed up because when you were 20 years old, you made that commitment to raise this child, technically, right? So he is the asshole for the way that he stepped away. I'm not saying he should have been there permanently in that kid's life. Maybe there was ways where you could have kept that kid in the picture. But for him to just flat out go cold turkey and just leave and just be like, F them both, I think that was wrong.
So he has fatherly responsibilities.
He does, yeah.
Not being the father.
Yeah.
So even though he's not the one that introduced infidelity into the relationship, he should be easing his way out of this young girl's life.
What I'm saying is it's a commitment. When he was 20 and he made a commitment to be in a relationship with this partner, he made a commitment with the child as well. And it's not as easy to just step away from both of them because it was a decision that you have to make to abandon them both.
What should he have done then?
That's why I don't know. It's sticky, but I think what he did was wrong. What I would have done personally is probably kept the kid in the picture.
How?
You know,
He's 8 years old, and that's not his child, so she would have to see the mother.
That's what he's saying.
Constant.
I don't want to see the mother.
I get it, but you need to grow up and see that there's a bigger component in the picture. It's not about you two anymore. It's about making sure this kid is not messed up.
I don't know.
And he stepped up for the role of father. Like, if he didn't ever want the responsibility, why did he ever be in a relationship with her in the first place?
I don't think it's right to tell that guy to grow up in this scenario.
No.
One person that needs growing up.
Why I say grow up is because you need to look at the bigger picture. Yes, he cheated on you. I'm not saying be in the relationship. I'm not saying that. Walk away. What I'm saying is you have a responsibility to the child because you are that father figure. And for you to just selfishly walk away just because you got your feelings hurt, which is justified. I'm not saying he isn't wrong for feeling hurt because he was betrayed by his partner. But you're doing the same type of betraying to the kid because you're all that kid knows. The kid doesn't know her or his, I don't know, is it a guy or girl? They don't know their real father, but they know you for being in that position, you know? And you can't just walk away from a child during their development stage because they leaned on you for that, you know? So that's what I think he is the asshole not for walking away because I think he's entitled to walk away, but just leaving flat out, go cold turkey. I think you should have kept that kid in your life. What I think.
That's a well put statement.
Very well put.
But you
Very
sound
well said.
Crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see. I want to
ahead.
hear your.
Nah, but if number one, he took the responsibility as a 20-year-old where his mind's not fully developed, but he did take the responsibility of taking care of this child and being in this relationship as a father when the real father just dipped out. Not out of the city, out of state.
Okay.
Number one.
Say it again.
That's
State.
out of state.
Out of state.
That's the first abandonment right there of the mother and the daughter.
Okay.
He was there 6 years, built this bond with both of them.
Yeah.
And then for the mother to be cheating for months.
Okay.
What for you proposing that he should grow up and keep up this appearances with the daughter, and for how long?
Good question.
They're 18.
Huh?
Whoa, 10
Okay.
more years?
Yeah.
You said till 18?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So he should keep, even though he has no legal or
until the kid wants them in their life. Because my thing is, I get he was young. He was a kid. But I think you're underestimating what a 26-year-old is capable of thinking. He chose to be there for consecutive years. It's not like he was 20, he walked away at 22. He was there for 20, 21, 22, 23.
He was not there just for the child, though. He was there for the woman as well.
But when you're in a relationship with a woman with a child, you're in a relationship with them both.
But the woman's a big factor in that because that's not your child. He's not there voluntarily.
True.
He's there voluntarily, but he's not there
Just
as
for
a
the
fatherly
child, yeah.
duty.
He's not there just for the child.
I understand that he's there for like voluntary, but there's a responsibility you have for that kid. It's not as simple as, oh, let's break up. Okay, cool. Let's go on. It's not that simple. There's another component that you have to take into consideration.
I don't think that he had a choice to break up.
Well, I'm not saying stay. Don't get me wrong. Go your own way. But there's ways where you're able to maintain a relationship with this kid because you were their father figure for 6 years.
Can I answer the question?
Go
What
ahead.
does that look like for the next 10 years? What does that look like to you?
I would have to make a schedule with this kid to see them periodically. You know, will I be as involved in their life as before? Hell no. You know, but I made a commitment, even though I was young. It's still a commitment that I want to maintain. That I may not be a father figure anymore, but I will be some form of an influence on your life because I was there for your development stages.
What if the girl gets another man?
Yeah.
Then at that point, the girl decides who she wants. Like, I will acceptly, I'll just back out, you know? Like, if you don't want me in the picture no more, I'm gone. But I have a responsibility for that kid not to walk away just because I got my feelings hurt.
So you don't think it's an unhealthy thing for them to keep on growing this attachment to each other when he's number one, he's not the father, and number two, the girl who was the main factor in this could get a new man who would want to be that girl's father.
I would talk to the child.
At 8 years old?
I wouldn't give them as much detail as what actually happened, but I would let them know, hey, I will have to leave. And I don't know how exactly I would say it in a way that they would understand, but I would talk to them in a speech pattern that hopefully they are able to interpret. That, long story short, I'm not going to be in the picture as much anymore. If you need me, I'm a call away. But this relationship between us is not fractured. If you want me to support you in any way that you need, I'm there. But this thing is not going to be it anymore. You know? I don't know how to convey that to an 8-year-old, but I would say it in that language. And, you know, that was the overall message. I'm not going to be there as their father figure anymore, but I want to still be there as a support system. Okay? Yeah. Does that make sense?
I understand your perspective. I do disagree, but I'm done questioning it.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, if you have one more question from
No, I was gonna give my opinion on this, actually. Yeah. I was gonna say, I think what you're saying is very, mashallah, respectable. But
it's a commitment I made, bro.
But hear me out. It's not at all realistic, fam.
Yeah.
And I'll explain to you why. This person, the girl or the girlfriend, made a decision by choosing to have an affair. That decision costed her the relationship with the man that she was with, her boyfriend, right? I understand that the guy was committed to being in this child's life, but A, like Mukhtar was saying, this isn't his child. B, this relationship was only brought on because of the girlfriend, not the child, right? It was not like he was just going to a daycare center and fell in love with the kid and now wants to be with the girl. He was with the girl who had a child who needed some support because her baby daddy left her behind, right? I think in this sense, since he was betrayed by the person he wanted to marry and by the person he was going to consider to be the mother of his child, which it was going to be the daughter, I think in that sense, the best course of action for this person would be to say goodbye to the daughter, right? Tell her he loves her and will always love her and keep it pushing. Because somewhere down the line, like, he needs closure with the daughter. That's what's mainly bothering him in this scenario. He doesn't want to be around the girl that cheated on him, but he wants to have a way of showing the girl that he doesn't hate her or he's not abandoning her. So in that sense, I think they need to find closure, both on the boyfriend, on the guy who got cheated on, and on the daughter's end too. Obviously, from an 8-year-old's perspective, they're still going to be confused and not know what's going on and what's wrong. But at least the fact that he can get off the goodbye and reiterate the fact that he has love for her, he doesn't have to go into detail of what happened and why he's not there anymore, right? I think in that sense, he owed that girl, the little girl, that goodbye, right? So from his perspective, how he described the story, him ghosting that little girl, to me, is wrong, right? I think he owes it to her for being around for 6 years to at least tell her, I'm going to be gone. This is goodbye for me. I'll always love you. And then down the line, when the child grows up, it's up to them to find that relationship back, or if they want that relationship back with that guy, because then they'll be their own entity. They won't be attached with the mother, right? So in that sense, I feel like the more realistic way of going about it would be to get some closure from that on both sides, and then let them continuously live their lives. Because if he were to be a part of that girl's life for the next 10 years, like Mukhtar was saying, it's just going to confuse that child a lot, because there may be a person that comes into the girlfriend's life that wants to either be her father, or B, is neglecting that role and leaving it all to this guy who got cheated on and got stepped on, essentially, right? So I don't think it's fair for him to take on that responsibility, knowing that the actual parent of this child betrayed this person's trust completely, right? To the point where he doesn't even want to be around them anymore. So in that sense, I would say that your take is the more respectable man thing to do, but it's just not that realistic, you know? Because there's a person that's clearly done an immoral thing.
Yeah.
And in helping her raise her daughter the way you're saying, you're glossing over the fact that she betrayed your trust. And the fact that you were going to get married to this person, like a fiance ended up cheating on you. It's different from, like, you know, like just a regular girlfriend or whatnot. So I think in that sense, the gravity of what happened, he has every right to feel what he's feeling.
Okay.
Right. I just think it's his duty to say goodbye to the child, not necessarily to the girl, but just to the child, so that the child just doesn't go crazy thinking what happened or this person is a piece of shit. You know what I mean? So in that sense, that's where I would defer. I would say that to some degree, this guy is an asshole, but I also hear him out completely. Maybe he just hasn't gotten to the point yet where he can make that contact and say goodbye. So I'm taking it for face value. I wouldn't say he's the asshole.
Okay.
Either way, I think regardless if he has this whole drawn out goodbye or the way he did it, the child's gonna feel abandoned.
Right.
There's no way. I don't know the character of the girl. She could easily filter a bunch of other stuff in her ear that could draw him as a monster for
I'm saying
it
in the fact that it'll help him sleep at night, and it'll affect, because it's affecting him right now.
Yeah.
He's making the post saying, I feel bad that I didn't say anything to the daughter, So I'm saying for that sense, giving her some kind of closure would help both you and the girl.
I don't think there's closure for her though. The little girl.
That's the thing, that she's gonna get affected regardless, because her mom fucked up, Her mom is the one that's causing her this trauma in her life.
But she won't know that.
That's the thing of it. That's the shitty part about this scenario, is that the innocent child is being affected. That is something nobody can change.
I think even if he has this goodbye with her, I think it's still going to be a piece in his mind for a long time, and regardless, he's going to have to. That's the moment he's going to have to see her cry because of what he's leaving. That's the parts that's going to be playing in his mind of how if he just removes the band-aids and say, "Yo, I'm cut out."
She's already crying right now.
She's crying, but he doesn't have to see that image of crying because of him.
That's the reason why he's making the post, though. He's saying, "I feel bad that I'm making her cry. I didn't even say nothing."
He can make it, but at the end of the day, let them be completely removed. She's a child. After a couple of weeks, she'll start processing it a little bit more of him not being there.
I disagree. I think it's gonna travel for her for the rest of her life.
It will travel with her, but she's gonna learn how to a little bit cope with it. Of learn how this is at least introducing that he's not here, and this is the new balance that we have in that. Why you?
I'm not doing anything.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something.
I think this guy's your biggest enemy today. I'm
not doing anything.
Big man, this guy, we're group here, we're a team, man.
No,
I'm not doing anything.
I know your expressions. That's what.
You're just so insecure today, man. Like,
relax, man.
You're on
Am I
a
supposed
roll
to
right
look you
now.
like this the entire time?
You're on a roll right now.
What, bro?
I want to hear
Anyway.
the rest of it.
Yeah. So that image of him cry, of him seeing her cry, I think that would be a piece that would play in his mind. And the way he left, it may be a soft move, a sucker move, but for him, if he feels that's the best way I feel at peace, after 6 years being cheated on for months, and there's no way he can step back there and say, this is why I'm leaving, without having some semblance of understanding for her. I don't think he wants to leave by saying, hey, I'm just leaving. I'm not going to be in this relationship where I'm your father.
No, it's not even
that. There's nothing that would make sense for them.
I was more so, and sorry to cut you off, man. I was more so saying, say goodbye, I love you. That's it.
But what explanation would you give her to walk out?
There's no explanation he can give an 8-year-old that she'll make sense of.
So,
I think those two things, the goodbye and the I love you, are enough.
What would either of them get out of that? Because either way, there's no closure, because you're not giving her any truth.
But
you're not giving her any peace.
I don't think that the truth is necessary there, out of respect for her mom. Because you're not gonna go to the daughter and say, yo, your mom's a fucking hoe, cheating on me and shit like that, 8 years old. First off, I won't understand it. Secondly, it's gonna put a bad image of her mother on her, right? So I'm thinking the goodbye and the I love you is the sense of, this is going to end. That's goodbye. But I'm still gonna always have love for you. I feel like that is what the kid deserves.
At 8 years old, are you still gonna understand? I'm gonna always.
That's the last memory you have of the person. That's more helpful to sleep at night than the nigga never said nothing ever again. The last thing he said was, "I'm gonna take you to the park." You know what I mean? That's where I was deferring it. I'm thinking about it like, give the kid some closure. When she's 18, when she's 17, she'll think, okay, this person left my life, but he left on good terms with me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the sense I'm trying to make of it.
I don't think To me, I don't
It's
think
never enough. None of it's enough.
No such thing
There's
as
no
closure in
There's no such thing as closure. I agree 100%.
disappearing. Yeah,
But I think that those words have gravity in that context for that child. That's just my opinion, though. I mean,
I don't think, but for him, if that's what he got for peace of mind, if he said, "Yeah, I just need to leave. I can't deal with her emotion. I can't deal with her crying because something I did," and especially after 6 years of being in this house, that's a big adjustment for him himself. If he says, I can't see any of this. I want to just go." I respect it, even though that's a difficult choice to make.
but that's why he's making this post. He made that decision, and now he's thinking about it differently.
Regardless, if he went back, let's say, and there was this big drawn out emotion with the daughter, and then he's gonna have to have some sort of conversation with the mother. There's no way I see him just walking out after speaking to the daughter.
That's for the
And
sake of the daughter. You
yeah.
got to put your pride aside.
But some people can't.
That's an asshole move to me.
I don't.
An
feel-
innocent 8-year-old girl is gonna hate you for no reason just because you can't put your
That's-
pride aside.
That's not my child. If she hates me,
That's where
the only
I
person-
disagree with you, because
but
like
the
this is an innocent
Let's stop
child that
by
I've been with
side.
for 6 years. I'm not gonna look at it like
the only person that she should
stranger.
not hate is her mother in that moment. Me, she has no reason. If I leave right now, either way, the mother could say something that conjures in her mind of why I should hate this man. The only person that's going to be there for her is the mother. That's why she shouldn't. There's no way that relationship should crumble.
I disagree, man. I think
Regardless of
I think
anything
words
else.
matter a lot, and people make their own judgments once they grow up.
Mm.
If you were fed false information as a kid growing up, and then you become an adult, you can find out what really happened. Especially if you have the lasting image of this person saying "I love you," goodbye.
There's a lot of stuff all of us probably feel as a child that we're still getting over right now, and I don't think certain changes would have changed how we felt about it.
I think certain conversations would have helped me
As
at
a,
least deal with certain traumas,
as a child, I don't.
even as a child.
Later on, probably not as a child.
Well, in
'cause I
hindsight,
don't
you think
think-
about these things that happened to you as a child, and then you
Yeah.
pick out the context from it, right?
Exactly.
So I
Later
feel like-
on, when you can make sense of it.
Yeah,
not
but,
as
but
at
you
that
have to
moment.
have something to make sense of, is what I'm trying to say. Like, even if you are in these conversations as a kid and you have no idea what's going on, you have no idea why it's happening, somewhere down the line, eventually it can make sense to you, is what I'm trying to say, you know? So that's the type of respect I'm thinking of in this scenario here.
No, but I don't think he's the asshole about the situation. I think the girl's the only asshole here, and the father who abandoned them from the beginning. I'm gonna wrap that around. He's in there too.
Mm.
But no, I think if that's what he needed for peace of mind as a grown man, if that's what he said, I need to leave out. I can't deal with this right now. I respect it. If later on, like you said, they come back together, then that's how the story goes. But as of right now, if he just needs some peace of mind.
The reason why I didn't jump in is because I just disagree heavily with both of you. So
Yeah.
I thought it was just too much to unpack.
Let's hear it.
No,
Break it
I disagree with the idea. First of all, the biggest thing I disagree with is Mukhtar just thinks it's just a kid. I
agree.
think that is outrageous.
I think so too. I think that you're missing that this
Oh, I
child.
could just walk away. You know,
Like, you can't. I don't think you would be able to do that. Knowing you, I don't
for
think.
for another person's child.
Yeah,
it's
I-
not an. Go ahead.
it's
Sorry,
your
sorry.
child to some degree.
At the end of the day, it's not. Yes,
The
in
kid
some
calls you
sorts-
dad, right?
In some sorts, it's my child. In some sorts, in a bigger point, it's her child.
hmm
So at the end of the day, we cannot keep. I don't think a good long drawn out goodbye. If she has to see me as the bad guy, let her see me as the bad guy. The only person that they need to keep their relationship on, and if I can't as him, if this is we're dealing with a decision he already made, we can't change the past. This is what he's done, and he's trying to make sense of it. So now we're starting from I left.
Right.
So if he's feeling I cannot have that long drawn out goodbye without having some sort of closure, and with closure comes truth, some sort of truth. Your mother did this to me. Don't say cheat. Your mother harmed me. That has
Why
to
does
be
a child have to hear that?
because you have to give some sort of explanation of why
An
I'm leaving.
8-year-old?
why I'm to anybody, why
To
I'm
an
leaving.
8-year-old though?
You saying I'm good, I love you, goodbye. That would not give nobody closure. That would not give nobody peace of mind.
Why not?
Still, I haven't seen an image of him leaving.
But what in the goodbye is not enough?
Why are you leaving?
It doesn't matter.
And that's a question that's going to be asked.
Mhm.
Well,
So you're going to have to answer that
I
question.
have to leave.
Why do you have to leave?
I have to leave.
You
I'm
could
not.
just say something happened between me and your mom.
That's what.
And then if they
ask,
ask after, then I'm not going to answer. However, I'm gonna give them the bare minimum.
That's what I'm
something
saying,
has to be there, but
Mhm.
just goodbye. I'm leaving goodbye because reason has to follow.
You and I had the same like thought process up until the end, because you and I both decided we're gonna have that conversation. I'm just gonna stay in the picture, and you're not gonna be in the picture.
No, I
It
can't.
was that was where
Yeah,
we went.
I
our
can't
own
stay in
ways.
that picture.
I agree with you up until that point, but Mukhtar, I just personally, I just don't like how you gave this guy the off. Like, yeah, he's fine, he can leave. No, he had a commitment. Even if he planned to walk away, the smallest thing, the littlest thing you can do is talk to this child one last time to explain. And I think you underestimate the overall 8-year-old kid and what they're able to interpret. They might not know. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
They might not know the intricacies of what's going on, but they are intelligent enough to understand when there's a problem, and when there's a problem that cannot be fixed. If I'm to lean towards money, I would lean towards this guy, because at the end of the day, the dude had the cojones to actually go to this child and explain to them that they're no longer in the picture. You know, I don't know if I can even consider myself a man if I did that to a child. I really, if I just walked away without giving them any context, or like randomly, this kid thought I was their father, you know? And then one day I don't come back. How can I sleep? Like, how can I look myself in the mirror? You know? I understand maybe it was better for me, but to my original point, you made a commitment to raise this child. The least you can do is provide them an explanation that they are able to interpret, you know? And for him to just walk away, I don't know, bro.
It is kind of cowardly. That's what I agree with him on, the fact that if without nothing, no contact ever again, it's like your manhood is in question in a sense.
Like, how do you consider yourself a man?
That's mainly the point I'm trying to stand on, is for him to be able to get a clear conscience, he needs to man up and address this child, not the girl. Well, yes, the girl, obviously, to get access to,
Yeah,
but for the child's sake, right? Not, you got to take his him out of the scenario for a second, and the girlfriend out of the scenario. For the sake of the child, I feel like it's his duty to at least have some kind of conversation with her, right? So that she knows I ain't coming back, you know? Because it's never going to be the same now. And that's not the child's fault.
least you can do.
I think that staying in the relationship with the child for that long after the fact, it's also damaging, though, because it gives them a false reality in a way of like, who's the dad, or who's this male figure in my life, and how he should be treated, and how much value I should give this relationship.
It would be complicated.
It's very complicated.
I'm not saying it wouldn't be complicated. And off the top, I don't know, because I've never been put in that situation. But I'm just putting myself in this guy. What would I do? Because that's why, for me personally, I think it's the hardest decision to ever be in a relationship with somebody with a kid. Because I know the type of commitment that I would make.
That's a good point. So
you
you're saying that you would judge the scenario of getting with them
Yeah.
with the kid more
100%.
more meaningful.
Because when I'm in a relationship with somebody with a kid, it's not about me and her anymore. That's why, for me personally, I would prefer not to be in a relationship with someone with a kid. Because the type of commitment that I would have to make is, even though I may not see it at the time because he was 20, I stepped up. And to this child because you start gaining like consciousness and memories at 2 years old, right? This kid is all you know, or all they know of what a father figure is, you know? For me to just walk away. Imagine your father just walked away. Like, because right now you consider your father because he is your father. But imagine if he wasn't and he just randomly disappeared. How would that affect you?
Severely.
Like, you would be like, was I not worth loving? Was I not worth the very smallest thing of an explanation?
And another thing to add to your point is, I wouldn't be thinking about what happened in their relationship. I'd be thinking about
Yeah.
what did I do? Even as a kid,
Yeah.
I'd be like, was I not
Exactly.
enough?
Mm-hmm.
So that in that sense, I'm thinking, as a kid, I deserve some context. You know, if you're not coming back, tell me. If you're an asshole, I'll find out.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by closure.
Like I said, I agree with you guys in the manner. I said it's sucker shit, soft shit. I agree with that manner. I'm not putting no logic on the man's emotion. If he felt like this is too much for me right now, in the moment he's considering what his next moves are.
Mhm.
In the moment, if he's saying, "Yo, I can't do this," and I can't see that child cry, I can't be in that house that I spent 6 years in with that woman I laid with, that she spent so much time for months cheating on me. That's a lot to process on certain people.
Okay.
Later on, let's say he goes back in a few weeks and talks to the child. But in the moment, this is too much for me right now, and I need to remove myself before something further happens. Because some people get violent when they're angry.
Well,
Some
that's not what we're
But
disagreeing
no,
with.
but I'm just
He already left, like you said.
he already left.
Yeah.
But him, I'm just trying to understand him leaving. That's the type of mindset I'm assuming he had. You're right. Myself, I may not have done that. I agree. I'd rather not be in a relationship with someone with a child. Because that is a big commitment to make. And
Yeah.
that is my child after a little while. But you have to, there's a lot that's introduced. And him feeling that way, I understand. Him, it is soft, it is sucker, it is whatever else. But him feeling, yo, this is too much for me right now, and I can't deal with all this process of saying goodbye at the same time as dealing with 6-year relationship wrapping up, fiance wrapping up, freaking all this other stuff, giving up, I'm homeless now, all this other stuff. I understand. Walk away, come back when you're clear-minded and you're able to have that conversation.
Okay, so you're agreeing that he should come back and
Eventually, but not if he already walked away and he needed some time to clear his mind. I have no issue with that.
So you don't disagree. So you do disagree with him never coming back.
Never coming back's a lot, but
that's what I was thinking that you were.
no,
on.
my whole argument was him leaving at the moment.
Yeah, how that he's gone.
Yeah,
We already confirmed he's
that's
gone.
what
He's writing this saying, I'm now away from them and I'm feeling guilty for the daughter not being in contact with her. That's where we are right now, right?
in a little while, whenever he feels comfortable going back.
So
that's
we
when
are
he
in
should go
agreement.
back.
then.
We are in agreement in that sense
Mhm.
of having just saying goodbye.
Mhm.
At the moment, no, is where I differ from you guys.
Okay, now I hear you loud and clear now.
I don't even agree with that.
I hear him
Because
now.
I don't think you have I think after a certain period of time, you don't have that right to come back anymore. That
That's up to them.
placeholder there is not there for you anymore. Like, you can't just pop in and pop out of somebody's life whenever you want. Like, I think there is
disagree heavily.
I think there is a time period in which it's allowed. Of course, you're processing emotion, you know. I'm not saying he's physical, but I think he's going through a heartbreak and he's going through the difficulty of trying to interpret how this relationship is going to move forward, right? I understand. But for you to want, like, you can come back, but there's certain aspects of you can't just come back and think there's a spot for you whenever you want.
No, that's not what he's
No, we're
saying.
not-
He's
we're
saying
not
you
looking
come
for a
back to get
spot.
closure.
No, I mean, like, to that point, I don't think you have that right. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it's perfect, but there's a time limit on that. There's a time limit on when you
Yes.
can, because after a certain time, this person, you don't.
I agree. You
don't-
can't take
you don't-
6 months off and then
Yeah,
come
like,
back and be like,
a
yeah,
week or
deuces.
two.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
There's a time limit.
I agree.
Putting a week or two on it.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think that's
maybe
fine.
give it
Then-
a couple of weeks more.
Huh?
I would say even like I would say maximum. I would say is 4 weeks maximum. Maximum. After that, you're literally like the daughter's moved on.
Yeah, give him somewhere to stay. Go figure your life out,
Mhm.
and then come. Then you can.
I
come
agree
back
with
to
your
say the
point though.
goodbye.
There is a time limit on
Yeah, you
that
can't just
goodbye.
come back willy nilly
I agree.
thinking there's a place for you,
I
or
agree.
thinking there's somebody even wants your explanation. You know. But yeah,
I agree. So I think in the sense of this scenario that we're in, I think we all know that this person isn't an asshole.
He's not an asshole to me.
I disagree. I think he is the asshole. But, it is what it is.
The mother, 6 years with a guy, and you're gonna cheat on him.
She's a terrible person.
That's the only asshole to me.
That's why he left.
I'm not saying
That's the whole cause of this.
she's a terrible person. She is the asshole. But there's more. I think the person writing it is just as liable.
Just
As liable?
Maybe I'll take that back. Just not as liable, but for the way he reacted. I don't care what he did with her, his relationship with her. Walk away. I don't give a damn. My only gripe is with the child. And for him to
But that contradicts with contradicting yourself.
How?
How can he say goodbye to the girl and not the daughter? How can he be okay, justified saying fuck this relationship, but not being
no, what I said
they're a tandem, they're a duo.
What I said was you made a commitment. That was my major point.
Right.
You made a commitment.
Right.
So yes, it didn't work out between you and her, but now you have this is where me and you guys may disagree. I consider that child my child because I raised them.
Can I know we're supposed to be wrapping up because we've been going at this long. Do you understand? There's some girls that say if you don't want a relationship with me, you're not having a relationship with my daughter.
That is true.
But that's a conversation I'm willing to have.
But there's a lot of women. This is my child.
By all means, if she tells me I'm not allowed to have a relationship with a child, I'll step back. What I'm saying is if that door is open for me,
because she's like from the start.
Yeah.
She's texting him saying, "I'm sorry, I want you back."
No.
Blah blah blah.
But I wouldn't
That's
do
in the
that.
context where he wants her back.
No.
If she rejects the relationship,
Well, I'm saying that I'm thinking she's saying that because she lost a great dad.
yeah,
brother,
that's a part of it.
She's already cheating on the man. She didn't respect him.
Bro, I would don't get me wrong. I would solve things within myself, and I would get over this whatever. But I would want to have a platonic relationship with the wife on raising the kid.
Would that not look?
I don't know
miserable?
how that would look.
Wouldn't that be isn't it inevitable that's a life of misery for you?
No, because I still want to pursue my own. I still want to pursue me. I would still look for my own partner. I would still do my own ventures. But what I'm not gonna do is forget somebody that I raised for 6 years.
But it's going to affect you in a lot of senses. Like even if you were to introduce a new partner, then you have to say, "I'm still taking care of my ex-girlfriend's kid who cheated on me."
Commitment.
Part of the
That's
commitment.
a lot to
That's a
process
lot.
on a new girl.
That's a lot.
That's not your child.
That's my moral compass.
That puts a mark on you, is what I'm trying to say.
Rather
That you're gonna have to live around.
rather me than the kid.
That's unhealthy.
I don't know, man. It's unhealthy to me for the kid because the kid's gonna have a false sense of reality now.
No, because I see it as I was their father
Unless
figure.
you were able to get the mom to give you the child in adoption. I don't agree with what you're saying.
I would have a co-parenting relationship.
You have no
Can't,
decision making on this
You
child.
have no parent.
If they give-
you're
if
not
they-
a parent.
If they give me the right. I have to
why-
premise by saying that if she
But that's
wants
like,
me
come
to
on,
be,
man.
I would have a
Let's be real.
conversation with
That's
mom.
unreasonable.
That sounds
Why is
like a
that
fantasy
unreasonable?
world.
Huh?
Who's gonna be okay with
Brother.
the girl? I mean, the girl, the mother of the child, has cheated on you. It clearly shows she doesn't fuck with you, but she wants you around to take care of the child
Listen.
while she goes out and dates other guys.
Let me tell you something.
Doesn't that kind of sound like a false reality?
What I'm saying is I would propose that.
Yeah.
If it gets shot down,
Mhm.
I would go your route.
No,
But
but
If it gets shot down.
what we're trying to
even if
understand
it
what
was
capacity.
accepted, even if it was accepted,
Yeah, I would work
do
it
you
out.
think that's a model life for a child to live under?
No, but I still want to. I'm not sure what I would look like for me to be in her life, but I would want to. I'm not going to be there every day or maybe every month, but I would want to be there for major accomplishments, graduations. If you want me there, I'm there. I would want to be. I'm not sure how it would look, but I'm not going to go cold turkey and cut
But
this
that's
kid out
not
of
a
my
father
life.
figure.
But
So
however, if she wants
That's-
to reach out, that's my
Yeah.
commitment. I will be there. However, if you reach out to me and say I need you for something, I'll take that up as I'll be there.
I think we should wrap up because we're not gonna.
I disagree with
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Sure.
And I don't think you would subject yourself to that lifestyle, wallahi, to be honest with you.
I really
The
would.
reason why I say that is because I don't think you're realizing what you would be putting let me give you the scenario of this girl you're acting as if you're her father, you're still in her life, but now the girl that cheated on you has a new man in her life that doesn't want anything to do with the daughter. That's gonna affect you, brother,
How?
because you're gonna have to be the father of a child that has a father now that doesn't want anything to do with her. And not only that, but the mother of that child cheated on you.
You know what you and I see differently, fam? I see it as even though I'm not her actual father, I see it as I technically am. So what I see it as is
But you're not. That's the thing.
That's-
If we're
that's-
going technical,
That's where you and I disagree.
if we're getting technical,
Yeah.
you are not the father. Technically,
That's,
you are a father figure,
Mhm.
right? There's a complete difference between the two. If this girl gets
But
married,
the father figure is more. Yeah, we're not gonna.
but if this
There's no
What
point.
point
There's
of
no
the father?
point.
hypothetically,
There's no point.
hypothetically, if this girl was to get remarried with another man, that man would have more responsibility and access to, and more
But
of
then
a father.
we
to
would
the
go
child.
back to the drawing board and see how this would look. If you don't want me in that kid's life anymore, I would then have that conversation that you originally spoke about. Like I'm very, depending on where it goes, I'm willing to cut it off depending on how the mother wants it. I understand the responsibility that she has over me.
Right.
You know, I get that.
Mhm.
And what I would do is try to be in that kid's life, whichever way that I know how.
Okay, let me ask you one last question just to see where your head's at, and then we can keep it up. Would you be okay with being taken advantage of to be in this child's life?
What do you mean?
Because that's what's happening here.
How do you see that?
You got cheated on, disrespected. This person is now finding other people to be with, and you're taking the responsibility of being a father figure for this person's child. Is that not being taken advantage of?
Back to my original point, I would see it as if I was their father figure out of it. If we were to go our own ways, it would be co-parenting type of thing. If she would allow
What do you
me
mean go our own ways?
Because if me and my wife had a kid and then we divorce, it would be co-parenting. I see that the same situation.
But this isn't your kid.
That's where you and I differ.
I just think naturally, I think that not being your child will always be in the air for you,
Okay.
and that will come to haunt you.
I don't see that as seriously as you do.
Can I ask
That's where
another
we can
question?
agree to
Let's
disagree.
wrap this up.
Which
Let's wrap
we're
this
gonna wrap up. I just want to ask one
That's
more
the
question.
third time y'all niggas said that.
What type of, so let's say after a few weeks she gets a new man. The new man doesn't want you around, so the mother
Back to the drawing board. We'll talk about it.
Well, so you're gonna argue against both of them, saying that
I'm
this
not
is the
arguing.
No, but he's okay with
I'm not
saying if
arguing.
they don't want him around, he's gone.
Well, I wanna-
He said
I wanna
that- He said
understand-
as long as she's okay.
As
with
long as whatever power I have to stay in this kid's life, I
Yeah.
will enforce it.
After a little while, let's say a couple relationships have gone by for you, and the girls, you said that you would sever. This is a part of the deal. I come with this girl that I check in on every once in a while, and I take care of, sort of, right? For relationships for you, is that what you said or no?
Say that again.
You're in a relationship, and they find it weird that you take care of, sort of.
it comes with the
this
package.
child.
You said right.
You said it comes with the package, right?
Yeah. I would.
And let's say you had to sever some relationships because they couldn't understand your relationship with this child.
I'm fine with
And then now the girl has a new man and they say, hey, like, this is too weird. Can you step back?
You got taken advantage of.
Now
I don't
you're
see it that way.
without two relationships or whatever, how many relationships you had to sever. And now you're without this child. So where are you?
Then I would work on myself. Are you saying if at a certain point, if she doesn't want me in the picture anymore? Are you saying
She doesn't want you in the picture, the mother.
yeah.
And now you lost relationships because you and them couldn't understand your relationship around this child as well.
So
Including
he's saying
this
it's
child.
affected your personal relationships,
Yeah.
and now this person, the girl, is in a new relationship that doesn't want anything to do with you anymore.
Okay.
You're gonna have to just deal with that. You're saying?
Yeah, I'll deal with that when it comes. And I don't see it. I never see losing a relationship as losing a relationship. I see it as it wasn't written for me. I don't ever see it as, oh, I missed my opportunity. Oh, I missed my chance. No, I see it as God. This wasn't what God wanted for me.
That's a fair approach. Very.
No, I get that, but now that's time that's passed.
But he's not looking at it like that. He's saying, Allah ya'lam, it's gonna happen for me whether
Yeah.
it's this person or not.
If it's written for me, it's written for me. If
I
it's
get
not,
that.
That's
by all
fair.
means.
That's a very fair stance to take. I just think that you're minimizing the gravity of how much your life will be affected by this scenario.
maybe.
And that is very, listen, from this conversation, fam, realistically, between us as friends, I gained so much respect for you
Mm.
because I know how much you're willing to step up in a father figure, any form
That's
of
why.
being a
That's
father.
why I would never do step.
And mashallah, I know that for a fact. You're getting that because you have an amazing father too. Mashallah, you're just a phenomenal way of thinking.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mm.
I just think the reason why I'm disagreeing is because I think that life isn't as peaches and cream as we want it to think.
Yeah.
There's gonna be hardship and times where we need to make irrational decisions, say some things that we might not want to say, and I think that that's a part of the life experience that you're not really grasping in this conversation. But that's just agree to disagree. We can leave it. We can leave it at that. All right, should we wrap it up?
2:30.
Give us a wrap up.
All right, got it.
Look at this.
I was about to
I knew you were about to jam that. I knew you were about to
I
jam
was
that.
about to say that.
That's his signature now.
That's some shit's gonna be on t-shirt.
That's his-
Look at this.
Look at this.
With the Randy Orton hands up. Damn.
Yeah, that's funny. How do you typically end this? Don't you just say wrap it up?
Yeah, thank you. You know, like,
got it.
subscribe, all that shit.
Thanks for watching another episode of My The Out Show. Please make sure to subscribe. The button is below. And share your thoughts. Let us know. We clearly were disagreeing on every angle. So let us know who you agree with the most. And have a great rest of your week.
Gratata.
Look at this.